I suppose that I wasn't very good at sport growing up, and so creating was a good outlet for me. I was able to sit down and sort of go into my own imaginary worlds in my head. I'd read a lot, so books were really, really big inspirations, comic books, and that sort of inspired me to become an artist. I actually did do a little bit of acting, did some stage productions when I was younger. Whilst I don't think that it's completely necessary for someone as a character designer to do acting, I think it definitely did help, particularly with expressions and poses. I always find myself making the face that I'm drawing with the character, even if it's like a crazy alien thing, I'll always be like, you know, whatever face they're making, and it's kind of funny to find myself and catch myself doing it. Quite often people will walk in and be like, "What's he drawing now?" I've also done life drawing. I did a year of uni of graphic design and illustration. The first year was very basic, and so I sort of thought this probably isn't really for me. But in that we did life drawing, which I found extremely useful. I then pursued that outside of uni for a couple of years. Weekly courses, really, really handy. Just getting to know the human form. It's just like being a doctor. Not that I could do any sort of brain surgery or anything, but being able to study anatomy and know how muscles form into each other and how they interact, and then, you know, how poses are possible and the ones that aren't possible. You know, you definitely learn that from life drawing. Huge emphasis on that. If ever you aspire to be any kind of artist, anatomy is definitely one of those things that you need to nail. We're working on an internal IP called Double Happy Rabbits versus the Infinite Sadness. So it's about two happy-go-lucky rabbits who go around fixing the bad stuff that happens as a result of the infinite sadness. So it's a point-click puzzle-based adventure game. Yeah, we're making pretty zany environments and characters, and yeah, it's all looking really good. When I design characters such as the Double Happy Rabbits, I tend to start at a brief level. I'm handed a piece of paper that says, you know, this is what you have to do as far as personality, any physical traits that I need to keep in mind. They're rabbits, obviously, so I had to start from there. That was a good start point. I knew that they had to be pink and blue. So you basically start from a rough sketch, and you do about 1 million of those, and then you whittle it down from there. You have a lot of review processes with myself and with the other monkeys in the studio. We all have our input and say, oh, we like the ears on that one, or the smile on that one. And then I take that all into consideration, and I do another couple of batches of sketches, keeping it all loose just so that we can sort of see, oh yeah, that could be closer to it, but it's not exactly that. Gives a bit of wiggle room. Then once we've sort of whittled it right down to maybe 1 or 2, we choose the final direction, and then I start polishing the artwork a bit more. Quite often I'll go into, say, Illustrator and do some clean vectors. Vector artwork is it's very, very crisp artwork. So it's brilliant for doing character art, particularly if it's like a 2D character. When you hit a brick wall as far as creativity is concerned, you have to kind of stop and step back from whatever you're working on, and to sort of break that chain of thought that you're always going to be cycling around in your head, oh, I'm just going to recycle all the same old ideas, and you won't actually create anything new. So I often find my Pinterest wall as a great source of inspiration to help with that creative block. I collect a whole bunch of different artists from all around the world. It doesn't matter if they're in my field or not. If they're artistically brilliant, I'll use their stuff as inspiration. If I don't know how to do a certain thing with a character, I'll go and see what else has already been done Quite often someone has gone and done a weird combination of whatever you're working on, and it's always good to know what already exists out there, so that A, you don't plagiarize, and B, that you can it can jog your memory or jog your mind, and you can just approach things with a fresh mind. The environment here is great. We're all from very different backgrounds. We all have very different tastes, but we share a lot in common as well. And that really helps when we're pitching for a new product. The guys here are my friends. I see them every day, and the work environment is great. The work we're doing is really fun. It's always something different. You never know what you're going to be doing, especially if it's Double Happy, because it just changes all the time. It's just crazy. Yeah, I just really love working here.